Well, we've got some major disappointment here. Major. Hey, welcome back, guys. We are in sunny Southern California in the Mojave Desert. We are going to just hit a couple of trails today, trying to get out of the wind. It's mid 60s with wind speeds of right around 17 miles an hour with some other more gusty winds to boot. So we're going to try to hit a trail called Moteno Gulch or something like that. I'll have to look at Onyx again here to see the exact name of it. And then, but we got to get that, we got to be on Rattlesnake Canyon Road is what it's called. For those of you from the upper Midwest or the East, when they say roads, you think of pavement and graded roads. This is anything but that. As you can see, you'll see, we're in a wash, seasonal wash, I think is what you'd call it. But that is what is considered a road. It's kind of like Utah. So we're going to carry on down this trail. We're going to see what we see. I think we're going to might see some old abandoned buildings, and we're going to get into that Moteno wash, which I believe is a canyon, whatever it's called. And we should get into some rock crawling there from what I understand. So let's see what we see. Well, we've got some major disappointment here. Major. A bunch of all of our GoPro footage from Farmington, New Mexico, Moab, and Hurricane are all gone. Got knocked off on a rock here.
Ah, wait, GoPro.
Or wiggled off the truck. Can't find the exact spot. So unfortunately, we're never going to get to see that. Unfortunately, like I said, it's gone. I mean, a lot of it was just under chassis stuff, but it was still, those images are gone. So I guess if you ever have a GoPro, maybe come up with some sort of redundancy if you don't want to end up in the situation like we did. So I guess lesson learned. I don't know, maybe I can find something too that automatically uploads to syncs with my phone, so that way it's something like this does happen or when it does get broke, because they do get shoved into places where the environment's rough and they're in vulnerable spots. So it'd be nice not to lose this stuff. Unfortunately, that was like a brand new GoPro, a week and a half old. If you ever guys have any comments or any ideas about what a person could do, I don't know, to maybe have something where it's in the same group where it just automatically uploads to cloud as it goes, shoot them down below. Maybe what I'll do is take this. Whew. By the grace of God, we found by the little camera, and you little fella were hiding right down in here. Got bumped off on this rock. Thankfully we got it. Didn't lose all of our footage. I'm tempted to go back to a spot, you guys, where we had a bunch of big Joshua trees, but I'm gonna check my fuel gauge, and see if we can show them to you, because they are a lot bigger than the ones in the park itself. Well, I'm gonna say that this Moteno trail is not a 9. No, it's not a 9. I think I could drive a stock Jeep, 4Runner, Tacoma, Colorado, Ranger through here without an issue. As long as they're 4-wheel drive, that is. Oh, I'm so relieved that we didn't lose this. But if you're in for a really scenic drive, Rattlesnake Canyon, and you're trying to get out of the wind, Southern California wind, this canyon, if you want to putz around and poke around and maybe try to find some more difficult lines, you probably enjoy it. But if you really want to see the big Joshua trees, they're right off the north end of this trail, Moteno Trail. Like I said, I'm gonna go and look. I'm gonna get back to the truck and see if we can see if we got enough gas to go there and back. So hang tight. Oh, the way we found this little thing was through going back and zooming in on the video that Julie had taken as we were just entering this trail. We could see the camera, and then we couldn't see the camera. Disappeared after a rock, so I started looking, and for rocks that were that shaped and the stuff that was in the background, and yeah, bambo, we found you. Look at the size of these Joshua trees is what I say to myself when I think about the ones that were in the park yesterday. These things have got to be twice as big, as many of them. And up a little further up the road there were some more, but we are running out of gas and should have kept the filming of that. We had a sound issue, but this gives you an idea. That lets you know that there are bigger Joshua trees to be found. I mean, just look at these things. They got to be twice the diameter of the ones in the park, or most of them. I mean, this has got to be like, I don't know, 12, 14 inches in diameter. The ones in the park are like 6, 8. There's an even bigger turkey over here. I'm starting to come to the conclusion, you guys, that the biggest ones probably aren't in the national park. If you want to see them like this, you gotta get off the beaten path. My goodness, this one's like somewhere between 20 and 24 inches DBH. I mean, she's got a split in it, but if you go down here, DBH is diameter at breast height. It's a forestry term. This one's got a split. I mean, breast height is so about 4-ish feet off the ground is there. I mean, if you look at the diameter, cut this thing down and look at the cross section, I bet this thing is close to 24 inches. Average-ishing. That one's even bigger over there. Now, don't get this confused. These things aren't actually trees. These are yucca plants, just so you know. And somebody who knows better than I do is probably saying blah, blah, blah. Yeah, fine. I got it coming. I know this is kind of weird, but there's probably a pretty good distance between fingertip and fingertip on this side. Can't quite reach. You're gonna have to tell me just how big this thing is. Yeah, it's got to be 2 feet on this one, easy. You know, between here and there. We're losing stuff, folks. We're losing it. Look at the size of this one. We've got a white pine tree in our Minnesota property that's got to have about the same diameter as this. And that darn tree has got to be around 250 years old, except for the way taller. But if somebody knows, bleep bloop, write down, whatever you call it, comment below. Comment, yeah, that's the right word. Comment below as to how old this tree might actually be. Somebody who actually knows something about these things. But if there isn't, well, then I guess we might be in trouble. I don't know. It's got to be, it's 24 inches plus here, you know, by the eye tape. And calipers here. Holding still. Yeah, that's about 32 inches. Well, pretty cool. You guys should come and check this out sometime if you ever got a minute. It's going to be more convenient for you if you're located in Southern California, though, versus if you're in Florida or overseas somewhere. But no, it is pretty cool to see this stuff. And I'm really glad that we got off the beaten path, because otherwise I thought they were all just little tiny, little guys. Like this one. And like the one behind you guys. I thought they were little, you know, 8, 10, 12 inches in diameter. Not 20 plus. And I don't know, 25 feet tall. Anyway, now our probably next big challenge here is to see if we can get out of here without sucking up all the gas out of the bottom of the tank before we get the truck on the trailer. Huh. There's a federal mining claim sign over there, in case you're wondering. Now we just got to find the pickup. Here, Toyota. And Toyota. Oh boy. Come on now. Still not. It's going to make us look for it. Well, folks, that was quite the adventure today. Not quite the way I was expecting it to be. As you might get to see, I was a little bummed because we had our GoPro go missing. We'll get to know now. But so that result is I just drove around a lot. We're going to find out how many gallons or partial gallons I have left in this truck, meaning this, from all our running around. But we did get to see some cool things. If the day had gone as expected, I guess we would have probably gone on to see a little bit more. I will say that the Moteno wash may be rated a 9 on Onyx, and it's not my judgment call, but it doesn't seem like all the other 9s that I've ran. It seemed more like a 6. But it was cool scenery nonetheless. Got to really see some big Joshua trees, as you saw. So I'm gonna call the day a win. And I wanted to say a big shout out to a young fella named Zach, who was willing to go and help us try to find that GoPro. Didn't end up needing his help, but we met him. We caught him trying to help us, so to speak, as he rolled in as we just found it. where we told him we thought, earlier we had told him we had thought it had gone missing.
The trail we hit today was Rattlesnake Canyon Road, and on our way out, it almost looked as if though you could see some asphalt down beneath. And then when we were up in there, as you guys will have seen, there were some like little small houses that were up in the hills, and like one of them in particular that we looked at close, it had floating cement slab floor that was modern. And modern, I mean like ready mix type cement. Anybody know what the history was back there? I'm assuming that there was once upon a time some good access to that area, and was Rattlesnake Canyon Road like an actual gravel road that a car or a ready mix truck or a dump truck could easily go down? If you know, comment below. We'll see if anybody knows.
Please smash that like button. Please subscribe, and thanks for watching. Until the next time, we'll catch you later.